Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we have Rhiannon from Australia who's going to tell us a bit about her life here in Japan and various other topics that we approach. We are joined by our new members of the family. We are both new mums, so there may be a bit of squeaking going on, but shogunai. Good. Okay, so could you introduce yourself?
My name is Rhiannon. Like Ali said, I'm from Australia, Queensland. I've been in Japan for, 4.5 years now. Yeah.
Lovely. And why did you choose to come to Japan?
At first I came just traveling Japan, and of course I just loved it so much. So I thought I'd try a working holiday, and then also I decided, I want to live in Japan. So that's how it's been so far.
Good. And what do you think is like the biggest differences between life in Australia and life in Japan?
Good question, but there's so much different, obviously. For me, just going out is very different. I suppose in Australia, it's such a wide country, so you have to drive everywhere. But here, everything seems much closer, or you have to take public transport or be in crowds of people, or at least Tokyo anyway.
Have you explored sort of outside Tokyo, like different areas of Japan?
Yeah, I've been to quite a few places, such as Hokkaido and Tohoku, Kansai. Yeah, so I have seen quite a bit. I'd like to see more though.
I think when you live somewhere, you're kind of less motivated to go out exploring because it's daily life, isn't it?
Yeah. So now living in Tokyo is just home now. It's not really a place for sightseeing anymore.
Completely, totally. Do you have a place in Japan that you really want to go to, like on your bucket list?
I've got many places. For example, I still haven't been to Okinawa yet.
Okay.
So that's one place I heard that's quite interesting. So Australia has great beaches, of course. And Japan, not so much, but I'm always told Okinawa has beautiful beaches.
Very lovely,
Yes.
Okay, good. Have you had any culture shocks being in Japan?
Yes, many culture shocks. It's kind of gotten used to them now, but there were definitely times when it's quite interesting.
So feel free to say that you don't want to answer this question, but you're married to a Japanese?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were there any sort of surprises in your relationship? Perhaps like different ways of expressing yourself or different expectations?
It's quite different.
Okay.
So the biggest, I'd say, difficulty is communication. Of course, we have a language barrier. He speaks to me in Japanese, and I understand it mostly. But there are times the language barrier can be a bit difficult.
Right, yeah.
But other than that, I think Australians, we're in a relationship, we communicate a lot. So, how are you feeling today? Or is everything okay with us? Are you sick? Are you, something like that? My husband won't tell me anything.
I see. Right.
So I have to just kind of guess, is something wrong? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
So most of the time we're great, but when I do sense something's wrong, I ask him, is everything okay? And he'll just smile and say, it's fine. I think,
Are you sure? Yeah, I see.
And then eventually sometimes small things will build up, and then he could get angry.
Okay.
And I'll be like, why didn't you tell me before? Why aren't we talking about it? Or,
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because generally people don't express their emotions so readily in Japan?
Yeah, definitely less expressive here in that sense. So, but it's okay now. I've gotten used to it, and I've just started to learn how to read the mood, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
Have you changed at all in the way that you express yourself? Like less expressing your emotions or something?
Yeah, probably expressing a little bit less. In a sense that also I have to be careful of how I present myself in terms of like posture. There have been times when we're together and I've just been very kind of casual, kind of like something like this. and he might find that as rude or
I see. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, I think your relation. Do you have something to say? I definitely think your relationships deepen your understanding of like the world and stuff. Babies make noises, okay, guys? Just like bear with us here. Yeah, so I think, you know, we learn so much, not just about culture, but about like ourselves through our relationships.
Yeah, definitely. I guess definitely being in public, how to present yourself is quite important to Japanese people. I've learnt.
Yeah.
Australians are very laid back and we don't care so much on other people's thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you feel now that you're more, I don't want to say worried, but you're more concerned with what other people think of you?
Sometimes yes, but sometimes not so much. I'm always going to be standing out. I'm always going to be looking different. I do want to be accepted, I guess, and I would like to fit in as much as possible. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I worried about what people thought of me in the UK. But when I came to Japan, it was like, I'm so different and I'm never really going to fit anyway. So I'll just be me, you know. Yeah. I have to ask you this last topic. Of course, your lovely little boy, cutie. How is it having, this is your first child, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how was it having a baby in a country that's like not your own without your family here?
Yeah, it's been quite a challenge, I would say. Yeah. Probably you don't realize how difficult it is until you've actually tried it.
Right.
At first I thought, oh, it'll work out in the end kind of thing. Nantoko narimasu. It's going well, but there are still times I wish my family was here, or I wish things could have been different sometimes.
I see. Did you ask them to come over and help you out, or?
Not quite. It seemed like such a big ask of them,
Okay.
I think,
Right.
given my family situation. But my siblings will be visiting sometime in the next year.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What are like some of the differences in like the childcare system or the healthcare system?
I think it was quite difficult, the hospital stay in Japan.
How long were you there?
Japan has a 5-day rule, but I was there 6 nights.
Ooh,
So
a bit longer.
it felt just exhausting and tiring.
Yeah.
I came in a day earlier because they induced me
I
because
see,
he
I
was just
see.
a little bit late. So, yeah, 6 nights.
Wow, long. Yeah, it's long.
Yeah. And I think also my Japanese isn't the greatest, so trying to communicate with the staff was okay, but when it became to things like breastfeeding, or I just didn't know the words, and
see.
that was really stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt actually when I went in there, like I've been studying Japanese, and especially lately I've been studying more like pregnancy and labor related language. When I went in there, I don't think I even could speak English. I was just like,
Yeah. For me, the birth was great. Like it's just no languages even needed. It's just
Your body's just doing stuff. Yeah.
The doctors were great for the birth too,
Good,
I felt. But just the having trouble feeding or something, every night a different nurse would come and try it, and I just became tired, and
Yeah.
And the problem was I was so lonely in the hospital. No visitors or
No visitors allowed.
no visitors allowed.
Oh yeah, that's so tough.
And my husband missed the birth, so there was only 1 hour that he could have come in for the birth.
Wow.
He missed that, so
Oh.
the whole time I was just looking out the window, just a bit sad.
That is tough. I
Yeah.
don't think I could have done it without my husband.
Oh yeah.
I think he may be slightly traumatized from the screaming. Yes, like that.
So I don't know if it would have been a better experience without corona limitations, but for me it was just tiring, and the hospital kind of routine, the way you have to write down all the times you feed your baby, how many times they go to the toilet, how many times I go to the toilet, my blood pressure, temperature in the morning, night, and then I have to like make this list, and I was just, by the second night I was absolutely ready to go home. I thought that's a good time.
Yeah.
Probably in Australia they say 1 night or 2 nights for a non-complicated birth.
I see.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the UK, it's like same day, go home.
Oh yeah. And so on the last day, I've just stared at the roof. Why am I still in the hospital? They barely did any checks. Yeah.
Could you give your baby to be taken care of by midwives?
Oh yeah, they did offer that. So like if I was tired, they'll just say, oh, leave your baby here, take a nap, come back for the next feed. Yeah.
I see.
So that was helpful. Even though I still had the guilt of
I know,
leaving the baby.
I saw him getting wheeled off. I was like, oh, goodbye,
Yeah,
goodbye.
oh, he's still crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we finish? Is that what you want to go home? All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much
Yeah.
for your time today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting to hear your perspective, and I wish you all the best in your life.
I'm hoping to make many memories with my little one in Japan.
Yeah.
I do love it here, so it's going to be a lot of fun for us.
Yes, yeah, enjoy. All right, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching. Anything to say? No, okay. Thank you. Bye bye.